Hi, everybody. Welcome to another episode of the LOCUS Golden Hour podcast. My name is Kristina.
And I'm Lina.
So, this podcast is about sharing stories, advice, tips, and all things surrounding university and student life. And today we'll be talking about cooking and some staple student meals that you can make. So, we'll start off with a bit of an icebreaker. What is your go-to meal to make during the school year?
Ooh, I like that. I love food. I think both of us really love food, so this is going to be a fun episode. I think my staple is rice with a protein, and then I usually have cherry tomatoes on hand and spring mix. Gotta eat your vegetables. You gotta eat your vegetables. That's my staple, like lunch/dinner, I would say. What about you, Kristina?
No, like almost the exact same for me. Rice, some sort of protein, whether it's like chicken thigh, chicken breast, something.
Mm-hmm.
And then my vegetable of choice is usually broccoli. I usually either steam it, like when I make rice, I have a little steaming basket that goes on top of my rice cooker. So
Ooh.
it's like 2-in-1 kind of thing. So I either do that or I roast it in the oven, like with some onion powder, garlic salt, salt and pepper, and then I roast it in the oven and then it's nice and crispy. So if I want soft broccoli, steam it. If I want like crispy broccoli, I roast it in the oven.
That sounds really good. I'm definitely a boiler when it comes to broccoli.
Oh yeah.
So I'm team soft broccoli, I would say.
Soft broccoli is good though.
I
Yeah.
like I like both. I think the oven gives it a bit of a flavorful kick slash like crunchiness to it,
Mhm.
which I do really enjoy. Or like potato wedges, the
Oh
oven.
yeah.
Mm, or like carrots in the oven. That's
Okay.
good stuff.
Mhm. Um, I forgot what I was gonna say. There's another thing that I say. Oh yeah, eggs also as a protein.
Oh,
Eggs can
yes.
be kind of expensive. Well, also meat is expensive, but eggs can go with anything. You can have it with toast. You can have it with rice. Just eggs.
Eggs go such a long way. I feel like you buy a carton and you can have eggs for breakfast, lunch, or dinner, or all of them.
Yeah.
And it just works really well. Like the effort to make an egg, so low. The bar is really low. You start there. If you know how to make an egg, I feel like you're good. If you have no idea how to cook, if you know how to make an egg, you're on the right track.
No, I remember going into university and moving out, and I was like, I know how to cook rice and an egg. That's about it. And then that's all you need at the beginning,
That's
honestly.
that's really all you
Yeah.
need. Chris, I have a really important question for you.
Okay.
How do you like your eggs?
Okay. I was thinking about asking you this too. I like, what is it? Over easy? Like, not sunny side up, but
Okay.
I love the yolk runny still.
Mm,
Yeah. That's
that's
what it's
so
called, right?
interesting.
Over easy?
I think so. I think so. I'm not very well versed in my egg terminology.
What about you?
Um, I used to really like sunny side up, but now I like it when I actually don't like runny yolk, which is really funny because
Really?
I used to like sunny side
Oh,
up, but now I really like, I don't know, cooking. I usually like would flip the sunny side up egg and then like, I don't know, cook as much of the yolk as possible, but don't mind if it's runny. I just don't like it runny.
yeah.
Does that make any sense?
Yeah, I get
I
you.
also like a good hard boiled egg, like
Mm-hmm.
hard boiled egg, like fully cooked. So yeah.
Okay, that's interesting because I like soft boiled. So it's
Mm.
like still runny, kind of on the inside, but like not completely runny, like when it's like hard on the outside near the whites.
Yes. Is it
Yeah.
like the Japanese? Like,
Yes.
yes. Okay, I see.
Yeah.
Those are good, but I think yeah, I definitely like a hard boiled egg. I like to like as a snack, if you just boil them and have salt, I just like eat them like
Yeah.
that.
Yeah. You can put them in like salads, soups, whatever.
Mm,
Literally eggs for any meal.
yeah,
Oh, if I'm
we love
making a
eggs.
sandwich or something, then scrambled.
Okay.
Yeah. Like
Yeah.
say if you're like you have like a cheese croissant or something and you put eggs in it, then scrambled. Yeah.
That sounds good. I love good scrambled egg. Alrighty, well, our topic for today is cooking our fast meals because we all know students have zero time. We
Yeah.
literally have no time. Do you have any tips, especially for people who are moving out for the first time? Like I know I like barely cooked at home and then I like left and then lived by myself for the first time in university and I just didn't know. I mean, I lived, I survived. So what's the top tip we have for them, Chris? for resisting?
Honestly, I would say frozen things. Like maybe it's not the absolute healthiest, but it helps and it's really quick. Like if you have pierogies, frozen, keep them in your freezer, or frozen pizza. Frozen pizza is such an
Mm,
easy meal. You just pop
yes.
it in the oven and then that's literally a whole meal.
Yeah. Especially when times are busy. Like I think frozen foods are definitely like a staple you need in your refrigerator and like don't feel guilty about eating frozen food because like at least you're like eating something. Like it's
Mhm.
sometimes it's even better than like ordering out because it's expensive and like it's you have to wait for it and stuff. Like it's okay to like don't feel too bad about yourself. Like you're allowed to like learn on the way. So
Mhm.
I definitely think that's good. I'd say start with the basics, like learn how to cook rice, bread, you just have to toast or you don't even have to toast bread.
Mhm.
Um, and like be willing to learn, I'd say. There's a lot of like easy tutorials. Um, and I think there's nothing wrong with like trying and failing because I don't think you know how many times I've burnt my food. I still do. I'm someone who is an overcooker. At least I know it's not raw, but I
Mhm.
overcook everything. Like making steak, making like if I when I used to cook like my chicken in like a pan, oh my
Mhm.
gosh. I literally would purposely burn it. And
You
yeah.
don't want it to be raw, at least, right?
I really didn't want it to be raw. I overcook like when I boil things. Definitely, I'm very impatient. Oh, this is a good tip. Like, I guess like when you want to boil water or if you want to heat like a pan or pot easily, like turn it on high. Like I always turn it on like the maximum, but then make sure you turn it down because because if it's really, really hot, like it's gonna cook faster but also burn quicker. So
Yep.
like just keep that in mind. I'm very impatient, so when it comes to cooking, it's kind of tough.
I'd say to make sure your chicken is cooked and not overcooked, get a meat thermometer. I
Mm,
didn't have one until this year because I had a new roommate move in and she had one, and it would have been really useful for me in first year because I was like, I don't know if chicken is cooked or not, and then you cut it
yeah.
open, you're like, oh, it's still pink, but stick a meat thermometer in. The temperature should be 175, and then you know you're good.
That's
Yeah.
good. I've never actually heard of like, well, I mean, I've heard of them, but like in regular cooking, I didn't think like, oh, you could just use it all the time and that'd be useful.
Yeah, they're useful. And like um another quick thing, because I'm thinking about chicken, is those chicken nuggets or chicken strips that are frozen.
So
My
good.
favorite brand is Jane's, even though Jane's is kind of expensive sometimes. Honestly, you could get the off brand and it's fine. Off brand
Off-brand
is
everything.
fine.
I
Yeah.
literally buy off-brand everything as a student. I feel like it's good. Like there's nothing
Yeah.
wrong with it. They honestly like the private label brands, they're great. They work the same. So
Yeah.
don't
It's
be
literally just the
afraid.
label.
Yeah, it's literally just a label. The same exact thing, same product. Marketing, all about the marketing.
Yeah. What are some other staple foods that you always have on hand?
For me, I always have tuna. I personally like tuna. I know some people don't like tuna, but I have like the spicy Thai tuna. I think it's so delicious. I know you're not supposed to eat too much tuna because of like, what is it, mercury poisoning or something? I don't know.
Really?
Something about that, like if you because there's like small bits of like mercury in it. I don't know. I just searched up. Maybe the internet is stupid, but um no, I think it's real. But anyways, you're not supposed to eat too much tuna. But tuna's always in my pantry. Like when things are tough, like just pop open a can of tuna, eat it with bread, eat it with rice. It's just delicious. I also really like seaweed. I like have it and like you just eat rice and seaweed.
Yep.
To me, that's a meal.
Yep.
It sounds bad, but to me, that's a meal. Just because like if you have rice, like it's kind of like rice and eggs, kind of, it's like
Mhm.
rice and seaweed. It's just tasty. It's a tasty snack as well. So, that would be, I guess, another staple. Anything canned is like a good thing to have on hand. It's really funny because I never had a can opener for the longest time. So
What did you do?
well, my roommates had a can opener, but then it broke. And then I just didn't really eat canned foods, which is like, I guess good. Like I would just cook, but like now I have a can opener and it's a game changer. Cause like I like now like buy like, I don't know, like corn and like
Yeah.
make snacks out of it.
Yeah. Man. Just as we're talking about canned food, you can use the student union's food bank. Ooh.
Woo.
You get 5 parcels per term. I remember I used it a couple times in first year, and you get canned food, some hygiene products. Sometimes, like you can get feminine hygiene products from there, which is really useful because those can be really expensive. They have granola bars, and I don't really remember what else was in there, but it's definitely useful because you get like canned corn, like you said, canned beans, canned peas, stuff like that. You get 5 per term. Use it because you can use it. It's there.
That's useful.
Yeah.
I actually didn't know that we had five parcels per term. I know we could go and use it, but that's very good information to know. And
Yeah.
it's available on both campuses. So make
Yeah.
sure you take advantage of that.
Yeah. Nothing wrong with canned food. Oh
Hmm.
my gosh, canned soup.
Canned
Canned
soup,
soup is so good.
so good, so
That's a
good.
meal.
What is your favorite soup?
Um, I like the mushroom, like cream of mushroom soups. But
That's
it's
so
weird
good.
because I don't like mushrooms.
Ooh,
Like I don't like how they like the texture of them, how they're kind of rubbery, but I like them in soups, like cream of mushroom soup. I like how they taste.
very
I don't like the
interesting.
texture. Yeah.
Very interesting. I also like cream of mushroom. I like cream of broccoli.
Oh yeah.
Broccoli tastes really good. The classic chicken noodle, you can't go
Yeah.
wrong with chicken noodle. Um, so it's always good.
Yeah.
I think speaking of staples, what's your opinion on mac and cheese or Kraft Dinner?
I love craft dinner, except it makes me feel terrible after. Well, because okay, I
Are
like
you
putting a
lactose?
lot of butter. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, I remember
um,
that.
but also just like I don't know, it just makes me feel like it makes me feel like the feeling after you eat fast food. Like it
No,
just
I
doesn't
agree.
feel good in my body, but it's so good. I love craft dinner. And I remember we were talking about before, like it's okay if you don't know how to cook. I remember my roommate in first year burnt craft dinner. And now, oh my goodness, she's a chef. Like I swear she could go on Master Chef. She made a really nice burger last night. She got some nice
Oh,
thick cut bacon from Farm Boy. And she made
oh,
this
farm boy.
burger, like, and she made wedges and like she was like, I'm gonna make like a lime infused it out. She's like a chef now. And she burnt craft dinner in first year. So like it gets better.
It's the character development,
Yeah.
the journey. Wow. It's really funny. I didn't really eat Kraft Dinner a lot, like in in any of my years. I think I've eaten it with like friends and stuff. Honestly, you can make Kraft Dinner like with just pasta and like mac and cheese, like cheese, pasta, milk, butter. Like
Yeah,
like it's
that's
pretty
literally it.
simple. But Kraft Dinner is good. Like I don't mind it. I used to really like it as a kid for sure. But yeah, it's another great thing. But yeah, in terms of cooking, I would just say try out some recipes, put it on a pan, like cook. Like I don't know, it's it's kind of hard to explain. I feel like um a lot of things can be cooked in a pan or a pot,
Hmm.
whether you
Hmm.
boil things or you like fry. Is it frying them?
Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, I think just try it out yourself. Um, Another, I guess, tip, I know not everyone has access to this, but like my grandma gave me her old air fryer because she got a new one.
I love air
And
fryers.
nowadays they're like around $50-ish or a bit more, but like um those things, you can cook anything in them. It's
Yep.
actually insane. Once I got one, my steak was never burned. Like I searched up how long do you cook steak for? And it told me like whatever you want, like whether it's like I usually have medium rare, so then I just type in like whatever it said and then it worked. I was like, oh my gosh, it's as if like if you follow instructions, it turns out good. Another thing, I'm so sorry, I'm going on a tangent right now.
Go for it.
Um, I'm really bad at following recipe instructions,
Me too.
but I wanted to turn it around. Just use what you have. Like
Yeah.
whenever I read them, I'm like, I don't have that, but I'll use this instead. Or like, I'm gonna like just do whatever. And it usually turns out okay. So if you can't follow a recipe like me and Chris, just try your best. And it works out.
And you should like get a lot of spices on hand, and then you can
Mm,
just kind of just throw stuff in, and then you'll see
all of
which
it.
ones you like. You're like a staple for me. I like paprika. This isn't together, but I like paprika, Italian seasoning,
Mm.
oregano, just all like cumin, stuff like that. Have them like near your stove, so you're just like, I feel like this needs some paprika. Just put it in. Yeah. So just get a bunch of spices. It like you'll find out what you like too. And going back to what you said about air fryers, did you know you can make a hard-boiled egg in an air fryer?
I did not.
I
I did
think
not.
okay, you can Google the time and the temperature, and like literally you just put it in the air fryer and then like put it in like an ice bath and then hard-boiled egg.
That's wow. I didn't know. See, you can really cook anything. Like
Yeah.
literally cook anything. I feel like even reheating things, air fryer stuff hits different.
Yeah.
Air fried bread.
I
Whoa.
need to make that. I have
It's
not made that.
it's crunchy, it's crispy, it's so good. I don't know. I think air fryers hit different, you know?
I need to pull
They
mine out more often.
10 out of 10 would recommend. Like I just cook everything in there. It's actually crazy.
I got a it's like a small like just one person size one, but like this is the like the width of the basket. If you're
hmm
watching the video of this podcast, um, and I think I got it on sale at Walmart for like only $39.
Oh my
So
gosh.
yeah, that was
That's a
like
steal.
I bought it for myself when I moved out. I was like, this is my gift, an air fryer.
Yeah, or ask your parents
Yeah,
for Christmas.
yeah,
Yeah, or like, ask your aunts or whatever, maybe gather some money. I don't know.
yeah.
Put it towards that, but that is good. Any other like, I guess when we're talking about air fryers, any other like, I guess kitchen staples in terms of like tools?
Mm, I do have my favorite wooden spoon I like to use for everything, but that's all I
Mm.
can think about. It's just like a bamboo spoon. It's like my favorite. I use it for when I'm cooking anything.
Oh, I feel like wooden spoons, they're nice.
Mhm.
They're really cool. Um, Something I really would recommend is a strainer. Like I
Oh
didn't
yeah,
have a strainer for a while, and I asked my friend to get, like the Secret Santa things where you can like write what you want. I wrote
yeah.
a strainer, and then my friend got it for me for Christmas, and I was so happy. I don't think you understood. Um,
An adulting moment.
yeah, literally, tip is like always ask for things you need because like I guess it was something I just didn't. I mean, like it was a need, but also like I just didn't want to buy it for myself. I don't know how to
Yeah,
explain it,
yeah.
but I asked for it for Christmas and I got it, and it's been such a saver now, like straining my noodles, straining my broccoli, like it's
Yeah,
something you don't really think about, when you move out. Like you're like, oh, I don't really need this, or like it's just like your last minute thought,
yeah.
but it's helpful.
There's also I've seen these strainers that you just attach to the side of the pot, and then you just strain from the
Mhm.
pot, and it like catches what would fall out if you're like straining pasta or anything like that.
So cool.
Do you have any staple meals that you like to make? Like other than the ones that we've talked about, do you have certain ones that you like to make?
I usually make pasta, like an Alfredo pasta with whatever I have. And like I like mushrooms, so I add mushrooms and broccoli, that kind of stuff. Um, I'd say like excluding what I just kind of mentioned, that's kind of what I eat. It's very basic. I feel like I eat the same meal every single like week repetitively. So Chris, if you have any recommendations, I am all ears.
Okay. I have a couple staple meals that I like. The first one is I get ground beef, and like you can buy it when it's within your budget for like that week you're grocery shopping, and then freeze it whenever, right? So I have this like Korean bulgogi sauce that like just
Mm,
from the grocery store, but then I mix it with some like dark soy sauce, sesame oil, brown sugar, like rice vinegar, mirin. I'll just like I just eyeball it, mix it in, whisk it in, yeah. And then I cooked ground beef, and then I put the sauce in, and then put it off to the side. And then I take leftover rice and I put a lot of garlic in it.
I love
Like garlic
garlic.
fried rice, right? And then some like I have a bag of frozen veggies. So it's like that's also a staple that I forgot to mention. So like it has like corn, peas, beans, carrots, and I put that
Yes.
in. Um what else do I put? Scrambled eggs in there
Everything.
too, and you add the beef back, and then
Yeah.
quick bulgogi ground beef fried rice. So that's
That
one that I like to make
sounds
a lot.
so good. Oh
It
my
doesn't even
goodness.
take
Wait.
that long to make.
Oh my gosh. That reminds me though, fried rice is so easy to make. Like it's
Mhm.
so easy to make and so good. And that reminds me, I usually make kimchi fried rice. Like you
Oh,
just
so
put
good.
kimchi in and then the rice and then like any flavoring and sauce and stuff. Um, that stuff's so good.
Yeah, if you have leftover rice, literally fried rice is also better when it's cold rice. So
Mm,
anything leftover chicken, throw it in the fried rice, anything.
so good.
Another thing I like to make is like you mentioned Alfredo pasta, but it's easy if you just use classical sauce, honestly. Like the canned or the one in a jar from the grocery store.
Hmm.
They usually have it on sale anyways, like 3 for 10 or something like that. So you can get like
Yeah,
red sauces or white sauces. Literally, like you could try to add some more seasoning and flavoring to it, but I just use it straight from the jar and heat it up.
nice.
Okay, last one I'll mention. I make a broccoli and cheddar soup with my roommates. So my roommate got a Dutch oven for Christmas. It's like a huge pot.
Wow.
So we cut up onions and garlic and we put it in with butter and we like until it sweats. This is like a meal. And then we cut up potatoes and just like we all contribute potatoes and broccoli, like, oh, I need to use this broccoli before it goes bad. Let's all do it together. And then we put that in with like chicken stock. So we use water and then we have these chicken stock cubes that basically just turn the
Ooh.
water into chicken stock. And then you boil it until everything is soft. And then you can either use a blender or like one of those immersion blenders. And you just like blend it till everything is smooth. And and you can put cheese in it too, like cheddar and whatever other cheese. And then you have broccoli cheddar soup and you can eat it with bread or crackers or anything. And then it usually lasts us a long time. And we eat it for like 3 days because we made such a big pot of it using all of our ingredients. So that is one of the meals that we all do as roommates.
I am now very hungry. Um, soup is actually pretty easy to make. I'd say like
Yeah.
even buying like the pre-made like stock or whatever, like if you need like to like you don't want to flavor it or whatever, you don't know how to do that, or like the cubes as you mentioned, those are really
Mhm.
helpful. And then you can literally add anything. I think that's the beauty of soup. It's like
Yeah.
boom, boom, boom,
Yeah.
you have a soup.
Yeah. Those are the meals that I usually make.
That's awesome. When, going back to campus now, I feel like it's a bit harder to kind of prep and like bring a lunch, especially for us off-campus students. Do you have any tips in terms of either meal prepping for the week or just bringing a lunch to campus or dinner?
I think the rice and protein one is always a good meal, especially if you know that you can like find somewhere where you can warm it up, somewhere on campus with a microwave. So, because when you make, say, okay, so what I usually do is if I buy like a pack of like say like 9 chicken thighs or something, I usually like break it up into different Ziploc bags when I freeze it so that I can take it out and like cook one meal at a time. But sometimes you can literally just cook all of it at once and then use that as a meal prep. And then you have a lot of rice and you just like make like 5 containers for the week or something like that. So like protein and rice is good. I also like cooking pierogies as a lunch because it's kind of easy too. And then you just put it in container and little container of sour cream and then bring that with you. Yeah. What
Yeah.
about you?
Yeah, I mean, just to add on for like, I like the rice idea with the protein. That's just easy to kind of portion out. Sandwiches,
Oh
10 out of
yeah.
10. Bread, meat slash whatever you want. I
Sandwich
love
it
how we did
together.
the same time. That is it. That is it, folks. And always have snacks on hand. I'd say like that's something I kind of forget is like I'm a hungry person. I'm a snacker. And now that we're back on campus, it's good to have. Oh my gosh.
I
For
have a
for
box of
anyone
granola bars.
listening, yeah, Chris has some granola bars right there. I have my goldfish right here.
Goldfish so
Um,
good.
I literally just like have granola bars in your bag or something.
Yeah.
So you can eat. at any time because you never know when hunger strikes. The amount of times my stomach has yelled at me in class because it's hungry has been so many, like it's just too much. I couldn't count on my hands. It's too much. So always have snacks on hand, and you can be the snack person, you know? You know, someone's like, "Oh, I'm so hungry." It's like, ah, I have a granola bar. Do you want
Just be
one?
prepared. Or like even some
That's how you make
candies or
friends.
something.
Yeah.
Like I like to keep Haichu in my bag. Do you know that candy? Yeah,
Yes,
I like
I
to keep
love
Haichu in my bag.
haichu.
I have some here too.
Oh, I love haichu. That reminds me, I should get some haichu. I usually keep gum in my bag. I just
Mm.
chew it whenever I'm studying, when I'm hungry, but it doesn't, you know, it's not gum isn't a substance, it's
Mhm.
just gum. So,
Yeah.
yeah. Last but not least, we have breakfast, which I think is very important. So, let's just talk about breakfast for a little bit. What do you usually like to do breakfast if you eat it at all? Any tips?
Well, this morning I ate Eggo waffles for breakfast. Literally just Eggos and butter. Um, I don't know. I love it. Like I like the buttermilk ones, but I am also good with the chocolate chip or with the blueberry or whatever. I think we talked about this in another episode, right?
We did.
Eggos are good because they're easy and they're frozen. So it's not like, if you buy a loaf of bread that you don't think you'll eat all of or something, like it's frozen. So you can keep it for a long time. Also granola and yogurt I like to eat. I
Mm,
think I also mentioned that before, but
yes.
that's kind of, or cereal. Oh my goodness. Cereal.
Cereal.
Those
What
are
kind
like
of
the two.
cereal?
I like cinnamon toast crunch. That is my
For
fave.
breakfast.
Yeah, for breakfast. Honestly, cereal is a breakfast and it's a snack.
It is. No, I agree. That's awesome. I also like cinnamon toast crunch. So we get roasted a lot though because it's very sugary. But I
Yeah.
think if you're eating something, I feel like that's a win, you know?
Hmm. Hmm.
Um, I'll be honest, I am not a very good breakfast eater. So breakfast is hard because I always forget. But I'd say granola bars are good. Um, I try to make like brunch, like an early like 11 a.m. like rice with eggs or whatever.
Yeah.
Or I just think eating obviously when you're hungry is important, but starting off your day with fuel is good for the brain. So
Hmm.
you can focus in that 8:30 class that you probably zoned out in because it's too early. Um, but yeah. And for anyone who drinks coffee, I guess coffee isn't a meal, but you can get your coffee.
It helps you start off your day, honestly. So
Yeah,
yeah. Is that it? Was all we have to talk about with food?
I think so. Should we move into our words of wisdom section?
Yes. Yes, let's do it.
Insert it right here.
Words of wisdom.
So, for those of you who don't know, Words of Wisdom is essentially how we wrap up our podcast. So, we usually pick out either key messages we want to leave our listeners with, or just words of wisdom. It's in the name, folks. So, I'm going to pass it off to you, Chris, to wrap us up for today.
I would say frozen and canned foods are your best friends, especially when you're a student, because they last a long time and they're pretty cheap and you can make a lot of meals with them. Because sometimes fresh produce can be really expensive for students. So canned and frozen, also use the food bank.
Food bank. Use it. It's there for you.
Yeah.
That is really great. I guess something I want to leave with our listeners, don't be afraid to try something new. Staples are very good so that you know, always have something and you like it or you know how to make it. But that TikTok video that you saved that you probably never will make, try it out. Try it
True.
out. I actually have a story, a really quick one before we end off,
Yeah.
but the garlic chili noodles that were like trending on TikTok?
Yes. Yes.
I tried it. It's actually really easy to make and it's delicious.
Okay.
So try out those things. I think it's okay to make mistakes. You know, you can't become a chef unless you've burnt some things, you know. I mean, To be fair, some people may have not burnt things, but anyways, what I'm trying to say is it's okay if you're not good at it right now, but you can get good. So don't be afraid. Woo!
Woo, snap.
Snaps always for everyone. So I think that's everything. So for everyone listening, make sure you follow our podcast, subscribe, and leave us a review. You can also follow us on our Instagram at Locus Laurier to stay up to date with all of our events and podcast episodes. And we will see you next time. So until then, stay golden, everyone. Bye.
Bye.